if God doesn't want me to find him, I'm not going to find him.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, guys. Make sure to visit Nature's Blend for a 10% discount on fantastic sunnah natural products like these: black seed and manuka honey, black seed oil. You got black seed and turmeric and many other products. Hijab 10 for a 10% discount. The link will be in the description.
Are you implying that the Christian tradition involves toilet paper in some way? That nether hygiene is somehow related to St. Peter's checklist?
I don't know. I know
it's not.
In fact, no, I don't think
it's not.
So the first thing I want to say is that Islam as a religion, it does deal with this issue of how to clean yourself after you've defecated. Why? Because it claims to be a comprehensive way of living, a deen, which means a comprehensive way of life. So the issue of how to clean yourself after you've defecated is one that Islam actually deals with in depth, in so much as it would tell you that after you've defecated, you should mix between using water, to clean the area. So you talked about the bidet. That's one way, a legitimate way of cleaning yourself with water.
Even the bidet, suddenly the bidet is popular again. I've never used one in my life, but...
And using, this is the best method, using also something like, let's say, tissue paper, for example, But if you can't find the tissue paper, then you can use water. So the whole scare of people getting panic mode because they can't find tissue would have been resolved if they just knew the basics of Islamic hygiene.
And I saw people fighting in supermarkets over toilet rolls.
But the idea of cleaning yourself, now think about this. I mean, it might sound quite trivial to you, to Ricky, but the truth is this: if you're playing football and some mud came on you, how would you want to clean that mud off your foot or your hand or your face? You'd want to wash it with water. Likewise, Islam says the same thing, when you're dealing with defecation. When you've done that, you have to clean yourself with water. Likewise, urination. Once you've urinated, don't just wash your hands. Don't just wash your hands. Islam says you have to wash your private area as well. And these are things which, if people internalize, they'll have a much more hygienic way of living and they won't be in panic mode, as we have seen in the Western world, in the situation with the pandemic, if they just have the basics of how to live a hygienic life as per the Islamic teachings.
You can't prove the non-existence of something, so he might be here. And if he didn't want me to find him, I wouldn't find him. If you're an all-powerful being, you are the best hide-and-seek champion in the universe.
So here, as you can see, he says that, to quote him, you can't prove the non-existence of something. That's a very, I don't know what principle that is. You've just said something that doesn't make sense and is not true. Because I can prove the non-existence, of a squared circle. Impossible things can't exist in the real world. So I can prove the non-existence of a circle by the fact that there are two contradictory things. It's the law of non-contradiction. Two contradictory things can't coexist at the same time. Using this law of non-contradictions, I can prove the existence of something which is self-contradictory, i.e. a squared circle. So this point here that you can't prove the non-existence of something is a false principle, a fallacious reasoning, a false principle that you continually say in all of your discourse, or many of your discourses online. And it's high time now you realize that you using these false principles in order to arrive at disbelief is not helping your cause or your argument.
And if he didn't want me to find him, I wouldn't find him. If you're an all-powerful being, you are the best hide-and-seek champion in the universe.
So here, Ricky Gervais talks about, well, he doesn't mention it as such, but it's the argument from divine hidenness. So God is, if God exists, and why is he hidden from us in such a way? Well, actually, I've already discussed this in my previous video. God is not actually hidden from us at all. God is a proto-knowledge, an intuitive knowledge, an instinctive knowledge that we come to and arrive at from birth. And there is many scientific or anthropological studies that point to this direction. We talked about in 2011, the Oxford Anthropological Society and Dr. Justin Barrett, how he came to this conclusion using a big study with a lot of people, children, before they're socialized, that they come to the conclusion, a proto-conclusion, it's almost an instinctive conclusion, you could even argue, or in his words, an innate receptivity to God. That's how he reflects. He mentions it, a receptivity to believing in the divine. You are born with that. Okay, and there's good evidence for this. So instead of just continually saying God is hiding from us, you have to now refute that kind of evidence Not only that, but you have to refute the demographic evidence, the sociological evidence, and the historical evidence, which not only show that God is something which you are born with, as we've discussed, or born believing in, but is something which is cross-culturally accepted. I mean, the idea of God, yes, there are different variations or ideas of what is God or what is the true God and so on and so forth. But the idea of believing in a deity or divinity, that's something which human beings from the beginning of civilization have gone more with than without. They believe in rather than lack belief in. So this is you're saying God is hiding. I don't think you're hiding, in my opinion. I think you're hiding from the truth. You are hiding, you see. But the truth is that actually God is not hiding. And that is why 90% of the American public, till this day, even with the spread of, say, new atheism or this, that, or the other, 90% of the American public still believe in a higher power according to Pew Research. And only 5.5% of the British public are strident atheists, according to Linda Woodshead. And this is all in my book, The Scientific Deception of the New Atheist, which is free of charge, and the link is in the description below. So you see, Ricky Gervais, you need to understand something, that your postulations, and your arguments against the existence of God are premised on false types of principles, as we've discussed, and weak argumentations. So you're going to have to come better next time, my friend. Honestly, you're going to have to come better than that.
You don't do the spirits.
Too dangerous. I like a whiskey, but I think you've got to do that very sparingly. Christmas, when there's, I'm a little bit scared of being that guy that sits and drinks whiskey.
You're talking about that you don't want to be like someone who drinks whiskey all the time and spirits all the time, because you probably visualize what that looks like, and you thought to yourself, I don't want to be in a somnambulant state. I want to have my sobriety. I want to have my cognitive functionality intact. I want to be rational. And you see, that is the Islamic postulation, or the prescription is you shouldn't drink any kind of alcohol at all. And if you look at we're talking about pandemics, and we all put a mask now, scared of the situation with the COVID situation, that we're going to be contaminated, or that will contaminate others, and the risks on the NHS and so on. But what studies have already been done, and I'm sure there have been studies in the Western world, of the problems of alcoholism. Like how much strain that's causing for the NHS, how many death-related incidents are caused because of alcoholism, how many lives have been ruined because of someone's constant intoxication. And you see, you have to remember something, that as human beings, we don't really have a strict barometer for knowing what's right and wrong. But what we can see is the consequences of the actions of a country or a nation or a society, that allows these kinds of intoxicants to be freely available for people. You have diseases that are related to these things. So what Islam says, and this is another point about guidance, is that we shouldn't drink that at all. Maintain your sobriety, maintain your rationality, maintain your cognitive sharpness. You're talking about, okay, I'll drink this beer here and I'll drink this wine here. Islam says if you really want to be rational enough, to be able to practice your religion and to pray properly, لا تقربوا الصلاة وأنتم سكارى حتى تعلموا ما تقولون. Don't come near the prayer when you are intoxicated until you know what's going on. If you really want that cognitive discipline, then you should abandon intoxicants for good. Eliminate them from your diet. That's the situation here. And you see, this brings me to another verse which I think is very powerful in the Quranic discourse, which is in chapter 28 of the Quran, where God challenges human beings to find something which is more of a guidance than this book and the Torah. Because we believe in the previous dispensations before it were corrupted. The point here is, therefore, that Islam offers you a solution that is not only rationally satisfying, but is spiritually nourishing and practically applicable. And with that, Ricky Gervais, I invite you to read the Quran and to be sincere and to try and find the truth. And with that, I'll see you later.